People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, we are back. And I want to tell you guys, we are going to get more people back on the podcast. We are going to start interviewing people again and getting people in here.
When will that happen?
I don't know.
Scheduling is hard, especially when you've been as busy as what we've been this past couple months.
Dude, we started this thing during COVID. It couldn't have been more easy to get guests.
I know. Nobody had anything to do.
And we didn't have anything to do.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying.
So, Natalie, what are we going to talk about this week? The past week?
Yeah.
It's been crazy. Every single day has been going.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
All right, so let's start. We record this on Tuesdays. Tonight is election night, 2024. Some places are already starting to come in, but what does that mean? I don't think it means anything. But it's like I want to listen to it, and I want to be a part of it and watch the news, but it doesn't really mean anything till it's over.
Yeah,
and then it's going to take like 3 days to count the votes, so...
I don't understand. If you like where we went, they just scanned them right on in, and they're like, "Got your vote." I'm like, "Great." And so I'm like, "Why isn't it counted?" Like the second they close the polls, okay, the computer says this many for this person, this many for that person, and go. Like, I don't.
That computer should be hardwired into the FBI, and somebody in FBI ought to regulate it, not some bodunk guy from a farm town in rural Virginia. It should go to government. They should get an email right away. A scan. Every time you scan it, should email it right to.
They just have a
the
running
office.
tally of everywhere. That would be great, because then once the polls close,
Talk
on
about
the
bodunk country.
West Coast, you'd have a total, and everybody would be like, "Okay, we're done. Here's who won. Ta-da!" And if all the polls close at 7:00, and they close at 7:00 on the West Coast too, that'd be 10:00.
You don't want to close it at 7:00 then. That'd be like 4:00 for them, and they don't get to vote because they.
No, it's 7:00 their time.
Okay.
It would be 10:00 our time, and we'd have results
by midnight.
Why would it even take 2 hours if they're keeping a running tab?
Right.
But anyway.
So tonight's election night. So once this is over, we're going to be watching at least catching up. At least having it on in the background.
Seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
Keeping the loop. Try to.
So, and we're not political people. We can't keep up with it. We don't have enough time. Wait till you hear what all we've been doing this week. We don't have time. We don't have time.
We have our opinions, but we keep them to ourselves.
But also, we don't have time to really... Like, what if I wanted to run for office? Like, I don't like how stuff's being done. But how are you going to take care of it? Do it your daggone self.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't get to do magic.
Nope. You would be giving up your career to go do that. That is something that you have to be led to do.
Or you just want to steal from everybody. You're led by the devil to do it.
Okay. I don't think everybody...
No, just the other party.
No. Not even everybody from the opposite party.
Anyway, let's get to our week. Let's get to our week. So, we're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Wednesday. So we record this on Tuesdays. Late. I edit it that night, get it out. And Wednesdays I have to teach classes. So I do it early in the morning. I schedule it to go out. I'm at classes when this comes out, right?
Right.
I come home Wednesday, we have dinner, and then we carve pumpkins.
Yes.
Now,
because that's the day before Thanksgiving. I mean...
Halloween.
I'm on to Thanksgiving already. It's the day before Halloween. Yeah. So...
Natalie had the bright idea to open up the bottom of the pumpkin this year to put the candles in.
Okay. I saw online that it would be easier because all you have to do is put the candle down and put the pumpkin on top. They did not say keep the bottom of the pumpkin. They just said put the candle down and put it on top of the candle. But Wes wanted to keep the bottom of the candle because he's like, you'll burn down the house if we put a tea light candle that barely gets hot on the deck.
I don't want that metal candle touching my deck. That's why you have the candle base.
Tea light in your hand when it's burning. It's not going to get that hot. But anyway, so yeah, that did make it more difficult to have the bottom of the pumpkin sitting there.
Then you had to
and
match
then
it up.
put the thing and then match it up. So you know what? Next year, carve off the top, stick your hand down in there, whatever
And that
you want to
burns,
do.
and that hurts.
Okay, I was trying to help. And
But
that's
it's a
all
lot
where
easier.
you take
It's a lot easier.
I think I said this last week. You take the
Mixer?
mixer and you do it. But when you get pumpkins that are so big, mixer didn't reach. So they gave up on that after one shot.
Well, the hole was, 8 inches open at the top.
Yeah.
And the mixer is like a foot long. So you couldn't, it only went down
Right.
6 inches.
But if you had a smaller pumpkin, you could
Or
totally.
if I cut the pumpkin in half,
reach.
you could really
That's
get
not
both sides.
That, and that's how you.
Yeah.
We had too big of a pumpkin, is what I'm saying. People who get smaller pumpkins, it would work.
Anyway. That was a fail. I didn't like the bottom thing. I didn't like it.
Whatever.
But
It's fine. I was trying to help.
we all carved pumpkins. So Willow, myself, Natalie, Lana all carved pumpkins.
Yes.
The boys painted a pumpkin, and then Lana painted a pumpkin for the boys.
Yeah.
The boys
We
just
got them
doodled
little-
like crazy.
Yeah, we got them little pie pumpkins, so they were small. So I just told Wes they're gonna want to be with us. They're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" And they're gonna want to be in it. And I'm like, I don't think they're ready to take knives to pumpkin yet. So just give them some markers and let them have at it on their little pie pumpkin. And so they did, and they lasted. They probably colored for a good 15 minutes. Julian lasted a little longer than Lex did, and then he was done. And they kind of stayed in the kitchen area and kind of was going back and forth. But they had fun coloring on their pumpkin. And then we put their names on them. And we put their... Well, I guess we can talk about where we put pumpkins later.
So,
But yeah, we carved pumpkins.
we all did like one hard one and one easy one. Because we have all these. We have 15 books of patterns I've collected since the 90s.
Yeah.
Lots
So
of
we have
years we
some
didn't get those
repeats.
books. And then lots of times we see, like Walmart has, you get a book of patterns for a nickel after, like 2 weeks after Halloween. They're still
Yeah.
trying to get rid of stuff. We're like, for a nickel, I'll
Yeah.
buy 3 books.
Why not? It doesn't look like anything we have, so get another one. And we make copies of the patterns on our copy machine, so we don't actually use up the ones that are in the book.
So the books are still good.
Yeah, we've had repeats over the years, which is fine. Nobody remembers unless you're looking back at pictures. But yeah, we had fun, and I always do a harder one, not a really hard one, and then much easier one, because I'm sick of it by the time I'm done with my second pumpkin. But I want to do 2 pumpkins.
And
Right.
this year was no different. She was sick of it.
I
A
was-
third of the way through the first pumpkin, she was like, I don't know why I picked so difficult of a
I
one."
know. I chose one that had a spider, and then it said beware, and it had all these drippy letters. Like, the letters were, like, drippy. And I did the spider first. That wasn't that bad. But the letters were not easy. And so I'm, like, doing the E, this first E, and beware. And I'm telling Wes, I said, I regret my decision. But it came out. It looked really good. I was proud of it after it was all done and all lit up. My second one was just a simple little ghosty.
And we turned off the lights and lit them all up, and the boys got to see them. We kept them in the kitchen, and the
Yeah.
boys were just so excited.
They thought they were really awesome.
And then Thursday was Halloween. So you started doing all kinds of cooking that morning.
Yeah, because we have a lot of junk food at our party. So I make...
Well, we started out the morning with junk food.
Yeah. So, okay. As a health coach, I say, like, 80-20, 90-10 rule, okay? You can have off every once in a while. So it's a tradition on Halloween for breakfast to be cinnamon rolls with the icing. So we made cinnamon rolls with the icing, and Wes made some eggs, so we had a little bit of healthy in there. But that's how we started our day. And then for our Halloween party, we make turkey chili, but that is about the only healthy thing that is there. So I make a cake that's a pumpkin, and that's 2 bundt cakes put together. I make cupcakes. I make dirt that you have to have in the fridge overnight. I make a little spidery thingy that I'm sure Wes can put a picture up of. that you make the day before because it has to harden. So I was starting to get some of that stuff done because you can't do it the day of the party. You got to get it done the day before. So I was starting to get some of that stuff done, and then we had to stop and because we wanted to take the kids trick-or-treating because we actually didn't have a show for once on Halloween. And so
I think it's the first time since we've been together we haven't had a Halloween show.
Our first Halloween, we didn't have a show.
Okay, our first Halloween we didn't have a show. But
Like,
since then.
10 days after our first date, or 11 days after our first date, I came over and helped you hand out Halloween candy. But anyway.
I'm having a breathing thing. Hold on, I'll be right
okay?
back. Yeah, keep talking.
Okay, so we want to take kids trick-or-treating, but we live out in the middle of nowhere, and nobody comes to our door for Halloween. Nobody trick-or-treats. We have 5 acres. All of our neighbors that you can't really see all have at least that, if not more. And so nobody trick-or-treats on our road. So we had to ask what neighborhoods can we go and just take them trick-or-treating. So we were recommended a place.
We asked our neighborhood group chat.
Yeah.
And they said go to
Lake Monticello.
Lake Monticello, which is like a HOA. I don't know how you explain it.
It's a neighborhood.
It's a big neighborhood. But
Yeah.
I also know some parts of that is a gated community.
Right.
I don't know the neighborhood. I've done shows there. They'd call me at the gate and let me in, all that stuff. But I don't know I've done shows there. That doesn't mean I know the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I asked my publicist, hey, if we go here, because she lives around that area, if we go here, what would you recommend?
And she gave us a specific road to go, and she's like, it's always busy. So they have got good stuff. We're like, great.
Dude, it was the best.
Yeah. So Wes and I and Willow didn't dress in our costumes for trick-or-treating, but we did have Halloween shirts on. But we got the boys and Lana dressed in their costumes. We drove over. We got there at 5:30. And I was thinking, because like you look stuff up online, like I don't even know, what time do you trick-or-treat?
We're always working.
Right. When does it start? When does it end? Are we supposed to wait till it gets dark? I had no idea. So I Googled it, and it said 6 to 8. So I'm like, okay.
Virginia state law, 6 to 8.
So Wes got us over there at 5:30, and I was like, I guess we're just going to chill out till 6.
The reason I got over there at 5:30, though, was
finding somewhere to park.
Finding a place to park, and also she said, if this neighborhood isn't good, try this neighborhood. And I'm like, what if the other neighborhood is 30 minutes away? I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. We need to check these areas out and see if we feel safe there. I don't know anything about this place.
Yeah. So there was like a health, I guess, doctor's office or something.
Yeah, it was like a rehab center.
Other people were starting to park there, and you saw them start walking off about 5:30. They started walking off and started trick-or-treating. We were like, well, let's go. So we did. And this neighborhood is we learned later, is a mile down and a mile back, obviously. And then they have four little shoot-offs into cul-de-sacs. So we started at 5:30, and the boys were so excited to go. I think Lana was too, but she's 12, so she's got to keep it cool. But they racked up, and I liked that we started at 5:30. The sun was still up. This is before daylight savings time, so the sun is still up. 5:30. You start going. People have all their stuff out. They're ready for trick-or-treaters. There weren't that many people out and about, and it was fun. There was, not every house obviously was doing it. Some houses were decorated, but they just had a bowl out at the door. But there was lots of places where you got to, they had set up a table or something and had all sorts of goodies, and were all dressed up and met you in the driveway. There were some places, which I think were the boys' favorite because they wanted to knock on the door, that you did go up to the door and knock on the door and trick or treat. And they just had a blast. And they did great for how long the walk was.
It was, yeah. Do you think anybody got into it later? Or do you think what we saw at 5:30 was everything? Because, it was like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when we were coming back.
Yeah, it was 7:30 by the time we finished. And
Do you think any other houses turned on?
I didn't notice any.
I don't think so. I think everybody was ready at 5:30.
Yeah.
But each house was. It felt like a movie. It felt surreal.
It was
we don't ever trick or treat. We haven't done it.
Yeah.
And we've been together 16 years. I haven't been, except my neighborhood and the house,
right,
the road I grew up in. I haven't trick or treated.
Like, I think we got home in time we got home in time one Halloween to do trick or treating, but we didn't have that much time because I remember rushing Lana up and down Locust Lane, and like a lot of people had already closed.
And I was probably handing out candy at the house.
Right, yeah. But and we were rushing to try and get her some candy, and she got some, but she didn't get a lot. That's the only other time I remember trick-or-treating. We've worked a lot of trick-or-trunks, and luckily they're very sweet, and they let our kids trick-or-treat at the trick-or-trunk. I'm just making sure I'm saying that right. And, but yeah, this was fun to go to an actual neighborhood, go door to door, see the kids all excited, saying trick-or-treat, and getting all the stuff. There was one place, the guy, we saw beforehand, he had a chainsaw. He was dressed as Leatherface, right? And he was chasing people not very far. He'd run and run up a couple feet. And we came up with the boys, and I was thinking, oh, he's not going to do that to them. And he was, he didn't really do anything while we were there. Got candy and started walking away and go, vroom, vroom. And both boys just start running. But they both turn around and look back, and they're just big old smiles on their face. So they had a great time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
One guy was Ernest P. Worrell, and I went to his house, and I said something about Vern when I left. I saw him still at the door.
Yeah.
Vern, it's me, Vern. Vern says hi. He looked back and waved. But I mean, houses had the drunk skeletons on their front porch, and
they had some.
They had that one. I have a picture of it. I'll put on the Facebook group. But the guy was, he had the jumper cables in the car, and he was trying to jumper cable his friend. That was awesome.
That was really cool. And there was that same house had one of those blow-up spiders, but it was an arch, and you had to walk under it. And that was, like, the only time, and it was Lex that got real hesitant. He was like, Mommy, I said, we're going to go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And we ran through. And then he was fine. He was like, oh, that was cool. But he got a little nervous about that.
When we left, there was a line of like 40 people because they made you go through the spider so you couldn't have a herd of people go through.
They weren't the only house that had a line, though.
I know, but that caused the line, though. That caused a backup.
Probably.
But when we left, I mean, it was a sea of people. It reminded me of E.T. It was just a sea of people. And whenever I saw the movie E.T. of those kids trick-or-treating, I'm like,
nowhere gets that busy.
That's only in a movie.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
I mean, I grew up in neighborhoods like that, and it was never that busy. And
But this one had a police presence. They had police handing out candy. It gets so busy that they have a police presence there.
Yeah. But it was fun. But that is another one of the reasons that we were happy that we got there early, because we had already. So we went straight all the way down and just walked past the cul-de-sacs and just zigzagged back and forth, getting all the houses on the straight lines. And then we went down a couple cul-de-sacs, and then the boys started breaking down. Not in a bad way. They were just getting tired, and I think they were getting hungry because we hadn't had dinner yet. Because we eat dinner at 7.
I gotta write that down. What he did at dinner.
Oh yeah. So we walked all the way down, which was a mile, and then we started back up, and we went down 2 of the 4 cul-de-sacs. And then we were like, all right, let's call it a night, because they were starting to get tired. They didn't want to carry their little buckets anymore, which, by the way, we got them buckets to put their candy in. And Wes was like, do you want me to bring a Walmart bag for, like, overflow? And I'm like, they're really going to get that much candy? He was like, sure, why not? I mean, maybe if it gets halfway full, they'll think it's heavy or something.
I brought 2 Walmart bags.
Oh, my gosh. The buckets were full and the Walmart bags were full by the time we were done trick-or-treating. Those people know how many people are coming by, and they're very generous with their candy. And then you're walking back, and we're like, oh, we've already been to you. Oh, we got plenty of candy left. Come get some more. And it's just, So it was awesome. If we don't have a show next year, we're going back there.
We went to go get animal food today, and we just drove by the neighborhood just on a random day. Lana's like, what are you doing? I just like this neighborhood. I just want to see it during the day.
Yeah, like you go see I mean, it's only a few days after Halloween. See some of the decorations. Nobody had anything up except for like 2 houses.
We're still decorating here.
I know.
So I need to bring this back to magic here. Right?
Right.
It is a magic podcast after all. 5th house. Some lady comes up and says, "Hey Wes, you didn't go with your kids." "Hey, how are you? How do you know me?" "Well, your name is Wes, and so is my son's." "Uh-huh. Well, I heard your wife say Wes earlier." "Oh." "Yeah, that's my name." "I thought she recognized me from shows, right?" I didn't know. Boy, right? Your head
Brings
goes
that
straight
head
down,
back
right?
down to size.
Then we go
Experience for you, honey.
20 houses down the road.
Yeah.
And in the opposite direction. "Wes, is that you? Honey, honey." And she's talking to her daughter. "That's that famous magician."
Yeah.
Over the top.
She was
over the top.
Yeah. Oh, and she had to take a picture of the whole family, for Halloween. "Let me take your, oh, can I have your picture?" "Yeah, sure." So,
"We follow you on Facebook. We follow the podcast. We know you guys."
Yeah. Then we ended up seeing her again later, trick-or-treating, and her husband hadn't been walking with her and her daughter, and she was like, "That's the magician," to her husband. Like, look.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
That was fun.
So that brought my head back up. I felt good. I got recognized. I don't know where I am. I don't know how far away. That's like 40 minutes from our house, and I don't know. It's supposed to be local.
Yeah.
But it's 40 minutes from us.
Well,
I don't understand how these back roads work. I don't get it.
Back roads, slower speed limits, takes longer.
But that's the other thing. We've lived here 6 years. That's like a local community. Our next door neighbors recommended us go there to trick or treat. But it's 35 minutes from us. And then I don't know how to get there without navigation. People are like, "But you've lived here 6 years."
We don't explore around our house because we are going all the time. So when we're home, we just want to be home.
The place we voted today, it was at a show location. We did a show there.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason we know it. And we passed the local library.
We still didn't know how to get there, though.
We passed, no. I mean, we're recognizing places.
Yeah.
We've passed the local high school. Oh, that's the high school. I remember doing an illusion show there.
Yeah.
We passed the library, the fairgrounds today. But if my life depended on it, I don't think I could get there without navigation. But I recognize all those locations. I think I could get to the
library, but I've been there a lot more than you.
Well, you've taken the books back and things.
Yeah, with Lana's research papers.
And sometimes, due to traffic or tractors, our navigation takes us different ways to get there, or we're coming from a show and coming from a different angle on these back roads, and then going.
Yeah.
It gets confused. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're backwards with all that, but
probably. I think most people know where.
But I don't think most people go to Northern Virginia and go to Fredericksburg and go to Roanoke.
On a regular basis? No.
Not as much as us.
No, I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, we're always going. So when we get to be home, we just want to be home. We're not like, oh, we have a day off. Let's go explore. No, we've been on the road. We just want to be home. But yeah, anyway, the boys did really, really well. Lana obviously had a blast. And
next to this mile-long road is a whole bunch of townhouses, like a ton of townhouses. And I'm looking at that like a little, I'm collecting candy for my boys. I want my boys to do good. I want my little girl to do good.
Oh, they did great. They were
No,
fun.
but I'm like this. I'm like, boy, townhouse. I mean, that's, you don't have to walk far. You just knock, 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 knock. They were all like lights out.
There was like one townhouse that had stuff.
Out of all of those, I thought that would be the place to go.
Yeah. Nope, the houses, the road.
So anyway, where we parked.
But what I was going to say is the boys did really well. They walked on their own 2 feet for most of the time until we got to the very end. And then I had to put one in piggyback and Willow piggyback the other.
Only because I have a pinched nerve from piggybacking the other one for 3 hours.
Okay,
at the farm.
That's fine. I'm just saying, they did.
I would have done it.
They did good. I was very proud of how long they lasted and how long they walked on their own 2 feet. So I wasn't sure how long they were going to be walking.
With chainsaws chasing them, and every house was an adventure. One house was decorated with dragons.
Candy is
One house,
motivator.
a devil opened the door and greeted them, and they were like, "Hey, give me candy."
Yeah.
They didn't care.
I'm telling you, candy is a good motivator when you're a kid.
So where we parked was like a strip mall.
Yeah.
But there was a median, so we had to get out and go to the next over. and there was a little Mexican restaurant, great Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But we get there, and they're kind of slow. I think everybody is...
They were very busy.
I think everybody is getting done trick-or-treating, and everybody's coming in all at once.
Yeah.
Even though the restaurant wasn't packed,
no,
everybody was coming in at once, probably overwhelming them.
Right.
So we're waiting, and maybe like 5 minutes. It wasn't even a long wait, but it was a wait.
Yeah.
And Mike says, "Hey! Hey!"
Because the little station is right behind him.
To get like silverware and things.
Yeah.
And he looks at the guy and says, "Hey! Hey! Chips now! Chips now!" And the guy, because he's 4. And
yeah.
he's dressed as Superman. And the guy just goes, and just smiles, gives him a thumbs up and smiles at him. And I'm like, dude,
stop.
You can't do that. Stop.
Don't get us chips soon. Just.
He's hungry.
Yeah, he was hungry. It was past dinner time. Yeah.
But having Lana place her order for dinner, maybe at 10 years old she was doing it, and doing it in a whisper voice.
You're right.
And my son at 4, "Hey, chips now!" And he's banging the table. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So then we got home, went through all the kids' candy and sorted it all and gave them piles. And
let them have some. Yep.
And then I went to bed.
I did not. So I got the boys to bed. And of course, it was not an easy feat getting them to bed because we go trick or treat again. Please, can we go trick or treat? I'd be Superman. I'd be Flash. We go trick or treat. Go knock trick or treat. Get candy, mommy. Can we trick or treat? Okay, not tonight. We're done trick or treating. It's time for bed. It took them so long to just kind of wind down from the excitement. It took them a while to go to sleep. So once I finally got them to sleep, I went back downstairs and kept making stuff for the party. So I made, so at that point I had made my little spider thingy. I had made the dirt and put it outside. I think that's all I really had time for.
And what is in the dirt? The dirt's amazing. It's
the
vanilla
dirt
pudding.
Is French vanilla pudding. It's powdered sugar. It's cream cheese and Cool Whip. I think that's everything. I might be missing something.
And like Oreos on top?
You mix that all together. You get a big package of double stuffed Oreos and you crush them. You put half the Oreos on the bottom, put that mixture in the middle, and put the rest of the Oreos on top. And then you have to stick it in the fridge overnight so it sets.
And put gummy worms on top.
You put gummy worms on top at the right when you put it out on the table. Then you put gummy worms on top. Because it's dirt. They have worms in it. But you don't want to put it on top and then stick it in the fridge because the worms get hard. But anyway, so I had made those two things, and so I started making the cakes because I wanted to get the pumpkin cake done and iced. So I had gotten a cake in and out of the oven before I got the boys to bed, so I had to make a second cake. And then while that was baking, I was pre-making the chili, and I was just going to put that in the fridge. So I had to cook all the meat and just mix everything together and put that in the fridge so then I could just put it in the slow cooker to warm up the next day. And then once the cakes were done and I was waiting for them to cool, I made the cupcakes, got those in the oven, iced the pumpkin cake, waited for the cupcakes to cool so I iced them the next day. What else did I make? I think that was it for the night. But that took me, and then cleaning up, because I didn't want to have to do it when I got up. So it took me until 3 a.m. I didn't get in bed until 3 a.m.
But I made the prizes. I did candy grab bags and toy grab bags.
Yeah.
I did all the prizes.
Yeah, you did.
So I was probably up till 12:30. 1.
You went to bed when the boys went to bed. I put the boys to bed at their regular time at 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, we only
What?
have 30 minutes.
Okay.
We're only on the second day, and we
Okay.
have 7 days.
Well, next day was the Halloween party. So we finished up everything that we had to make. Lana made Frankensteins. They're ho-hos with melted
corn.
green chocolate, little candy eyeballs, and candy corn is the little things.
Bolts.
Yeah, bolts. And then she made bats for me, which is a Reese's cup, again with little eyeballs, and then you break an Oreo in half and put it on there as the wings. The day before she had made the sugar cookies, and you add some cocoa to it to make them brown. And then she cut out all sorts of things, but she made a bunch of mummies. And then we had some fun little other shapes, and she iced those. So we had all that out. Then we had the dirt, the chili, the cake, the cupcakes. Oh, we made mummy dogs, hot dogs. You wrap crescent rolls around them and put you put cloves in for the eyes. Make them. We had.
They are always a hit. We made
yeah.
40 this year, and they were gone.
Gone. And then I think that's it. And you just have random leftover candy stuff out that you've used and stuff, and you just put those in bowls. Oh, chips and dip. And then we had fun little names for everything. So you have monkey brain stew for the chili, bat nest for the cupcakes. Obviously, mummy dogs are mummy dogs. M&Ms are witch's warts. Frankensteins are Frankensteins. What do we say the chips were? Something flesh.
Yeah.
Flesh.
Not fried. Filleted?
Filleted flesh? Something. I don't know. And then we make, we heat up cider, and that's dirty well water.
Nobody ever drinks it. I think it might be the name.
We make punch, like just a mixed little thing of punch for the kids, and we call it vampire blood.
That's always gone.
We always have, like assorted beer, whatever, you know.
And sodas.
Yeah, but the beer we put out is Devil's Brew. So just fun little names. And then we put out the pumpkins on our back porch because most of the party's in the backyard. So we put the pumpkins on the back porch.
And no one ever saw them in our front yard. We did all that work and lit them up, or we forget to light them year after year.
Yeah, so it was like, let's just put them out on the back porch. Let's put them on the back. I was thinking on the steps on the back porch, but they didn't end up fitting because they were too big. So we just put them around the porch, which worked great. And then the boys' pumpkins were on the table with the drinks, which is outside anyway on the porch. So, yeah. So that's kind of our setup along with all the things. But then Wes made up, so we were all DC characters. So Wes was the Riddler, I was Wonder Woman, Lana was Harley Quinn, Lex was Superman, Julian was the Flash, and Willow was Batman. So all DC. So we did a fun little adventure in the front yard. And we were trying to do it when it was still light out, but we misjudged how early the sun was setting. So it ended up being pretty much dark by the time we were done with it. But it was fun little games.
All right, wait. Our costumes. The boys have been wearing their costumes. Their costumes are great. Mm-hmm. All of ours have issues. Mine is, my mask is cutting my eyeballs. Halloween day, it was 80 degrees. Mm-hmm. I didn't wear my little purple gloves. I loved them. They fit me perfect. I couldn't wear them. It was just hot. I was dying. I had a jacket on. I was dying.
It was great weather, though.
Natalie's outfit, I think, was from when Wonder Woman first came out. It'd been sitting at the party store. So her strap that holds her top up, the plastic had dry rotted and ripped out. They had
those clear plastic straps to hold it up. But yeah, they didn't. They
were dry rotted. I safety penned it, and the safety pen ripped out. Mm-hmm. So then we had to use like a piece of yarn, thick yarn, and tied it around the loop and then I had to do both sides. And I told her to put her hair. If you have watched it on video, you'll see.
Yeah,
put your hair around the front, and now you can't see that. And she's an Amazon woman. Why not have long hair?
Yep.
On both sides like that to cover that string. And we didn't have black yarn.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Willow is a male character, and she said, The crotch is just...
It was just saggy.
It was just saggy. There was too much... It's a guy's costume. I don't have... I said, well, I can get you a hot dog and a couple eggs and stuff in your underwear. No, Wes. So Natalie did something to her costume.
Night, and I pinned it up. Then I just kind of grabbed it and pinned it up back behind her. And then the first time she went to use the bathroom, it all undid. And I was like, well, you want me to redo it? She's like, I'm not going to worry about it. So, okay. So...
Just funny. Funny. So I offered her a hot dog and a couple of eggs to put in her pants. So we planned the games out front. So we did a thing where I tied a string around a bunch of trees and wound it around the tree. And you got to get the ring and follow that. And
get it to the end.
We grouped them up into two groups. Didn't help. I blamed the leaders. What did I call them? The captains of the team?
Yeah.
It was just a free-for-all. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Plus, we were losing daylight quickly.
Yeah. We were like, well, let's start at 6:30. And then it was starting to get dark, and I told Wes at 6:15, I said, I think we should start now. It's getting dusky now. We need to start. So we started 15 minutes early, but didn't help. But Yeah, I told him next year we need to be more organized. Like, I had no idea who was in what team. I had no idea how many, points people had or whatever. It was chaos. And so
for in the front yard, it was
that.
If you do that, you get the clue first.
Mm-hmm.
So the other team's just right behind them. They got the clue.
Yeah.
And then the second game was
ring toss.
No, Mr. Freeze has your clue.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Mr. Freeze.
So what does that mean? I froze their clue in a Ziploc bag in a bowl of ice.
Yeah.
And if I flex the bowl, the big ice cube just comes out.
Yeah.
And I just gave it to him. I said, "There's your clue. It's in there. Mr. Freeze did that.
They're
Sorry."
Like, how am I supposed to get this out?
Lady from church, one of my favorite ladies from church, just picks it up, just starts slamming it on the ground. I'm like, there's kids. You're going to break somebody's toe.
She had a competitive side that
And
we
the
had
other
no
team,
idea
and
about.
the other team just started throwing it against the tree in our front yard. If it goes around the tree, it's going to hit somebody in the head. Yeah. Nobody was thinking. Everybody just wanted to win.
Yeah.
I thought they would take it up to our sidewalk and try to bust it on the sidewalk, or take a stick and chisel at it.
No,
they just started pounding, and they ripped it. She ripped it out of the Ziploc bag. It was just funny. And then it was ring toss, and ring toss was just chaotic.
Yes,
I said first team to 10.
We definitely needed lines.
I said first team to 10, and I had an old broke down tree as my line, and they were throwing. I was throwing rings back as fast as I could. I was just throwing across the line as fair as I could, trying to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That lady from church that I was telling you about, she just kept grabbing it and just playing for her team. And nobody was hitting it, so they rolled the stick a little closer.
Well, you told them to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then nobody was hitting it, and they rolled a little closer. We played at 10, but it's getting dark out.
Play
at 5. And then all of a sudden, one team had 4 and one team had 3. I didn't hear anybody score. I didn't take any off that thing.
That's what I'm saying. Next year, you have 2 teams. They line up.
How did they score?
One person takes a turn, then another person takes a turn, and you can keep track.
But I was so busy collecting. There was somebody beside me collecting them. I have no idea who it was, because rings were coming at my face, and I was throwing them. But there was somebody here collecting as well. Do you know who that was?
No. But Lana was like, I didn't get to throw a ring. And I'm like... So that's why I'm like, we just need to have lines. We need more organization, and we'll start the games a little earlier.
So then the last clue was Swamp Thing has your prize.
So go find it.
Go find Swamp Thing.
Where would Swamp Thing be?
So we have a little pond
area-ish.
and a front yard, a swampy area in our front yard. And I had a picture of Swamp Thing from DC Comics. And all the leaves just fell, like this week. Our yard looked fine, and then all of a sudden, it's under a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
So I just took my feet and just scooped some leaves together and has a couple piles and put it on top of the prizes.
Covered it.
And everybody's like, all right, here's Swamp Thing. What are you talking about? There's a prize? What do you mean?
What?
And one little girl's like, here.
Yeah.
And she found it. And that was a ton of candy for everybody in Ziploc bags full of candy.
Yeah.
And
but everybody had fun. The adults and the kids played the game. And it was... Everybody had fun doing it. So
if we had 25 people at the party, I would say 21 of them played.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then we were going to wait.
And that's not counting us. We were there. We're counting ourselves as part of that.
Yeah,
we were there, but we didn't play.
We were going to wait till like 8 o'clock to do our little things on the back trails, which last year we tried to make a little scary. This year we were like, it's DC themed. It's not really scary. But I told Wes, I said, I think we need to go ahead. I mean, by the time we were done with the front yard, I think it was like 6:45, so it took us like a half hour to do. I told him, I said, I think we need to give it a half hour and go ahead and start the back trails. I said, I mean, it's dark. You might as well just go ahead and do it. And then everybody can just hang out and chill until they're, ready to go. And that way people don't start leaving before you get to do your fun thing. And
by the time we handed out glow necklaces to everybody, we had the big glow necklaces, and I had to thread them, and it was me, you, and Stacy tying them and doing them and handing them out to everybody. That was about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then it was time. Yeah. And so then we started out, and we went down our trails.
So out the side of our house, and then turn right and go up, is where they used to mine for gold. And there is is that an air hole?
Shaft area.
A shaft.
Yeah.
And it just eats
like
anything you put there. Yeah, it just eats it because it's just filling up underneath. And Batman was standing there, Willow, and she had prizes that she was giving them. They don't know what they're getting.
It was just a Batman signal that everybody had a bag. Put your Batman signal in your bag. It'll come
in handy later. They were numbered, but people didn't realize, and they don't know what number goes to what. They wouldn't know to trade. They don't have no idea.
No.
But Batman was wearing gloves, and Batman couldn't hand them out, so somebody had to help Batman.
And Batman can't take her gloves off because
it's a one piece.
It's a whole bodysuit from neck. I mean, she even had it was footies that she.
She was pitiful.
She couldn't take her gloves unless she cut. So she's trying, but Vicky, a lady from our church, started helping her hand it out because she couldn't get it.
So then we go around to our gun range where we have our big gun range for big guns, right? Mm-hmm. And Lana had that penguin character.
She painted, yeah.
And we hard-boiled 24 eggs, I think. And they had to do an egg toss. And if they won that, they got another numbered sticker.
So they rolled a dice to see how many eggs they got to toss. How many
chances they got,
yeah. And if you got it in, here's the thing. So we had Lex, Julian, and there was another little boy who's also 4, whose name was Lucas there. And they were funny. They didn't toss. They were like, oh, it's got to go in the little bucket? Well, here. They just walked up and put it in the bucket. Yay!
You guys are weird. You throw them.
Yeah, why are you throwing them? Just walk up here and do it. But they had fun. So, but then everybody else actually played the game. And it was fun. It
worked great.
Yeah.
And then they went down the trail to our treehouse. Now they're turning and coming back towards the house, but they're on the other side.
They got another bat signal. So they got a second bat signal with another number on it if they got their egg into the bucket.
And then then we went underneath the treehouse, had the 3 buckets with the brains and the eyeballs and candy.
Yeah.
And this year I put them in groups because it was taking a long time for each person to go individually.
Yeah.
So I did like groups of 4.
Yeah. Which next year you need to do groups of 3. Because you have 4 people, the
Somebody
last person
back.
is sit back watching. Well, I want to. Let me put my hand in this one.
Yeah.
And they just get candy, which whatever. But it's just not. It's not fun.
Well, it's better when it's just 2 people. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time.
Yeah, right.
And we were already out there for an hour. This whole adventure and the trails took an hour.
The adventure took an hour, yeah. But yeah, and I remember to bring wipes with me this time, so anybody that stuck their hand in the brains or the eyeballs, they could wipe their hands off with a wipe.
Which was spaghetti and peeled grapes.
Right. But it still can get your fingers sticky.
And then we went to what I call the PlayStation. Area. Yeah, the play area, which has the baseball hanging from a thing. You can hit it and goes around. Axe throwing wall, BB gun range. And it's in like a semicircle area out there to do all those different activities. And the BB gun range is where we put the Joker that Lana painted. And it had a little sign above it that said...
tiny. Like 3x3.
No, it was 2 cell phones.
Oh.
Above a door. Think about how big a door is. And above that door is 2 cell phones. Together.
People could not hit a 3-foot zombie last year with eggs. They couldn't hit a 3-foot zombie.
They were missing the whole wall.
We're like, they're never going to hit this little tiny thing. If somebody does, it'll be like 1 person. So Wes was like, if they hit that little thing, they get to pie me in the face.
And these are fresh eggs. They are not hard boiled, and I had like 60 of them out there.
Yeah.
And I might get pied once, but I doubt it. But we brought it. We brought plates, and we brought 2 things of whipped cream. But
you left it out, so now it's no good. But anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
I brought it in.
I found it in the box today.
Okay.
Clean it up.
But go ahead. Throw it away.
Yeah. But anyway.
I don't want to taste it after I smelled it anyway.
It was weird. He got pied in the face like 5, 6, 7 times.
Might have been 8. Here's the thing.
I don't get it. Last year they couldn't hit a 3-foot zombie, and this year they can hit a small, tiny little sign.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then a little girl did it first. She's probably 17 now, isn't she? She's 16, 17?
Yeah.
She did it first, and then your other cousin did it, and then one of your friends did it, and then another, and then my friend did it. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
She would pie me. They would pie me in the face, and Natalie would try to wipe it out of my eyes and get baby wipes, and I'd be clean because it's not going to happen again. Oh gosh, it happened again. Okay, now after the 3rd time, I'm just like, just here, go, let's go.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah.
And then it was after 7, 8 times.
You're like, who's next?
He asked the adults and everybody from church that was in there.
I'm like, no.
And they're like, no.
We're all done.
It's kind of done.
Okay.
They don't get a prize. That was the prize, pie him in the face, and they saw it. They've already experienced it.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, I was the one getting pied, and I thought it'd be fun. I'll take the blunt. It's my party. I'll take the...
Let's have fun, yeah.
I'll take the brunt. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But I think they started feeling bad for you, how many pies
I
face
think
you
they
got.
were feeling bad.
Yeah.
And the second person hit me and went up. So it went up in my nose, and you can't blow it out of your nose. And they're like, how does it taste? I said, I don't know. I'm lactose intolerant. I can't lick it. But, yeah. So it was... But it was fun. It was fun.
And then the last pie in the face you got, all three of the little boys shared the plate and just kind of went and just thought it was the most hilarious thing. They were belly laughing so hard. They thought it was great.
I just had Lex right in my face. The other two kids were peripheral. And Lex was...
Yeah.
He was just gasping at air, couldn't catch his breath, laughing, getting ready to do it because he knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was adorable. It was very adorable.
Anyway, so the party was a huge success. And then afterwards, we lit the bonfire. I ate fire around the bonfire.
Yeah.
And we roasted s'mores and just hung out after everybody left.
Yeah. Yeah, so there were people that had to leave then, and then, there were some that stayed later, which is always fun. I love it when people stay later. But, yeah, and it was, it was a good mix. Some people left, some people stayed. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So then the next day, we have a class. We only have 10 minutes left. We had Goochland County Parks and Rec hired us, and they hire us like every year now.
Yeah, well, a couple times a year, it seems like, but
Is
it just keeps rotating around. So it works out to be about twice a year, but it's like, okay, we're going to have you in the spring, and then it's going to be the fall, and then it's like early summer. Okay, well, let's do kind of winter time, and then it just kind of rotates around the calendar. But a couple times a year is usually what we have. And they booked before we had figured out our party, and I realized, oh, look at that. That's the Saturday after Halloween. Oh, well, we'll do it on Friday. So that's why our party was on Friday this year.
But this year, we've done classes for them before, and I think the best class we've had for them was like 11 people. Oh, this year, they had 28 people, 23
I think it was
people.
23 people. Yeah. It was a good class.
And they set up 2 tables, and I'm like, that's not going to work. And then they also had a chair that was very foam and fabric-y. It wasn't
fat.
It wasn't the just plastic chairs or metal chairs you put out.
You could fit 2 kids in a chair. Like it'd be tight to fit 2 adults on it. You could do it, but 2 kids could fit in the chair easy.
That's how big these chairs were.
Yeah.
So we had them line up a wall. I'll put a picture on the Facebook group. But man, it took the whole room almost, and I just sat in the middle and just walked up and down the tables teaching magic. It was great. Yeah. Our magic show, we only did 1 illusion in it, but they were awesome. Yeah. They were tickled. They're like, this is the highest attended thing that we've had since 2021. I was like, great. That's awesome. I love hearing that. She's like, yeah. So I think we're going to book you again in the spring. Good. Yes. Good. So, yeah. So they were very happy, and so we're very happy. But, yeah, it's always a fun one. And it's close to home, too, which is always nice. But I guess. I don't know how to get there from here. It's 30 minutes from home. But I don't know how to get there from here. I don't know how to get there from here either, but it's 30 minutes, which isn't bad. They have a daycare, like when they do like karate, or maybe there's a homeschool group there or something. I don't know what it is. Though. Yeah, there wasn't anything in that room anymore. It was empty. No, I saw the kids playing with toys. Yeah, we had to get them out of the room next door that was her office. She just had some like leftover toys in there. They don't have a playroom for the kids anymore. Yeah. I didn't know that. They used to have like a playroom, and it had like a blow up thing and all sorts of toys. Now it's just empty, but the next room over, the lady that hired us has her office, and she was like, if the kids want to play in there, that's fine. Just make sure they don't mess with any of my stuff. And I was like, we'll just put them in the other room. And she's like, well, feel free to get some toys from there. So I told Will to get them a couple toys. So she got him a lot of toys. Oh. They were spread out on the floor. I thought it was still a playroom. No. Oh my gosh. She got him a lot of toys. I thought it was still a playroom. No. I mean, there was no inflatable this time, but there was a lot of toys. Yeah, well, she got them from the other room. Anyway, but that was cool because it's got a place for them to go hang out, kind of like a green room or a back room. Yeah. And then after the show, Grandpa came over, had dinner with us. He did. We had leftover chili from our Halloween party. So he had dinner with us.
and he came over and he just spent one night because he was coming to pick up Willow because Willow wanted to go vote and she has to go back home to her area to be able
She
to
also needed winter clothes.
Yeah, she also needs to pack up and get some winter clothes here. So he came and we hung out and had a good time with him. And he brought the boys' birthday presents with him because we didn't see them because we didn't do a big party. So he brought their birthday presents, which they got them like 4 outfits, which is awesome. 3 or 4 outfits, which is awesome. I love it. The boys could care less, but I'm like, yes, because it's always cute stuff. And then they got him little water guns in the shape of dinosaurs, which were a big hit. And then they got him dinosaur heads that when you squeeze the back and open...
These dinosaur heads are huge. They are 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet.
Yeah. And when they have little handles...
Like cinder block big.
And they have little handles on the back of the head. And when you squeeze it, it opens the mouth and it turns it on and a little blue light shines and bubbles come out. And the boys just think that is the best thing ever.
But not a few bubbles.
Oh.
It continues to blow as long as you squeeze it down.
Yeah. And they just had a bubble party going on in the living room. Just, I mean, it was a good little container of bubbles that each one held. And they were out, within an hour. So they loved, that was a big hit. They loved it. So.
And then we all went to bed. And then Sunday we had church for the first time in 2 months.
Yay! We got to go back to church. I was so excited. I don't know if you were excited.
Then we got to pick on the lady that went crazy at our party. I'm like, we didn't know you did that. She said,
have such a competitive side. She's like, that's just what adults do. I'm like, no.
I love her.
It was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, no, it was nice to be back in church. We had quite a few people from church come to our Halloween party, so we got to see them a couple days earlier, but it was nice to be back in church. And the boys were so excited. Lana loves church too, but the boys show it more. So, yeah, it was good. It's good to be back.
And then we had, what did we do Sunday?
Came home, you made us omelets, and we just kind of...
We de-decorated a little tiny bit. Like I cleaned up some of the deck. We put the cushions away.
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah, and we got the stand up. So we picked up the trash that was outside, and we got the ring toss game out of the ground, and we picked up the penguin and the Joker little stand ups.
We washed them off. And displayed them in my chicken coop.
Yep.
My chickens get to watch them and look at them.
So
we didn't know what to do with those, but Lana worked so hard on them.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it. We didn't want to just trash it. But yeah, we cleaned up the yard area, and the inside area had been slowly being cleaned up anyway as far as food goes. But yeah. Then
we did our first fire of the season.
We did, which was nice. It got a little chilly in the evenings. I said, Wes, put a fire in the fireplace. Can we do that? That's like my one fun thing of winter. I do not like winter. The only thing that makes it good is having fireplace fires. So Wes did that for me. It was all nice and cozy and fun. And then Monday was just...
Catch up in an office. Yeah. All day long. Catch up.
Yeah, just doing... Yeah, catching up and then getting school done, and then I had to take Lana to ballet. Yeah, and then I was up late because I was like, I gotta get the checkbook done.
It was playing catch-up.
Office crap.
It was playing catch-up.
And that lasted. I was in the office until I had to put the boys to bed, so late. And then today... Yeah, today's Tuesday. Today, got up, took Lana to musical theater, came home, picked up the boys and Wes, went out to go vote. And we took everybody in with us. I was like, let's just take everybody in because I don't want to leave. Because Lana was like, are you just going to leave us in the car? Nope. You're coming in with us. You get to see how all this works. Which I think is cool that they come in and experience that kind of thing. Growing up, I didn't get to experience it because my dad was in the military, so they always had to do absentee ballots. So we never went anywhere to vote, so I never saw it. So I think it's neat that our kids get to come and see how it works going out and actually voting. And then Wes and I got a sticker that said we voted, but they ended up on the boys somehow. And The boys loved it. But yeah, it was good.
And you also we de-decorated a little bit more. We
Yeah.
still have more de-decorating to do. We decorate so much for Halloween. It takes days to de-decorate.
Halloween and Christmas are the ones that we have the most decorations for. So it takes a while to put it up. It takes a while to take it down.
But also, like, I have fountains of decapitated people that are squirting blood out of their heads.
Mm-hmm.
And a pumpkin that has a knife in his head.
And he's just bleeding.
And he's bleeding.
Yeah.
And it's a fountain of water. I have a guy that's
holding himself
amputee.
up. Yeah.
His guts are hanging out. He's holding himself up on the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And water's coming off of him, too. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And these things aren't, number one, they're heavy. They're awkward. It takes two people to put them up in the garage and take them down in the garage. I got to get the ladder.
Yeah.
I need your help putting them up.
So those couple things are still out because we haven't had time. But I got everything from indoors. Except for those things, which is like 4 or 5 of them. But everything from indoors is now upstairs, ready to go in the attic. I just got to get all the graves and the fake pumpkins from outside.
That guy over here in our driveway needs to go.
What about did you get the guy that's swinging?
Yeah, got him.
Okay. So outdoor stuff and taking down, like we put up, caution tape. This year it says biohazard tape. So we got to take all that down, and that's outside.
The fountain that has the cauldron of mist water, that's in my gym.
Oh, so we got to get that. But yeah, we got, I'd say 80% of it done because that's indoor stuff. We got all that down. And then it was dark. It gets dark so flipping early now that we'll just have to get the outdoor stuff later.
So we've been talking for
But I did put up my fall stuff.
Go ahead. Sorry, go
That's
ahead.
it. That's all. There's not much. But I put it up, and it's pretty, and I like it. That's all.
You got some leaves on the mantle.
Yeah, and some gourds up, and some fake little pumpkins, and a cute little runner.
On our our big dining room table, you have the runner and the different and the gourds, and on our kitchen table, you have a new tablecloth
and little pumpkin place settings. Yeah, and that's it. We don't have much fall decorations, which is fine with me because we do so much for Halloween, and then we do so much for Christmas. It's kind of nice to just have just a little sprinkling for fall.
But here's the thing: we've been talking for an hour about how busy our week was.
Yeah.
When are we supposed to schedule somebody else to come in and do a podcast with us?
Yeah.
To work around their schedule and our schedule, because I don't know what our schedule is. When do we have time to videotape tonight? I don't know. Would you be on our podcast next week between 8 and 10?
I know.
I don't feel like that's enough of a window to give somebody.
That's hard.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how much better we're going to be able to do next week either.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're just going every single day.
Which is a good thing. But
it's great.
It's hard to schedule with other people when you're running around.
So when we started this podcast, it was COVID.
Right.
You get anybody on the phone. Everybody was at home. Nobody was doing anything. And it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting hard to schedule. It really is. So we're working on it. I got to talk to her because she's got health coaching and running Lana to different places and booking shows and doing this and doing that and health coaching and booking shows. And Natalie, when do we have time next week? I don't know. Maybe we ought to start doing it on Thursdays.
Well, Lana has 2 more weeks.
See, this Thursday we can't do it because I have an appointment checking out a theater.
Right.
And I have to FaceTime you because the lady wants us to go take a tour of the theater. I don't know why we can't book it.
I got to send you because I got to get school done that
Friday,
day.
you have to go pick up Willow.
Yeah.
When do we got to do it this week?
Saturday we have a show. Sunday is your birthday.
Yay.
We're not doing a podcast on your birthday. I got too much cooking to do because you requested everything.
So then, what about next Tuesday?
So Lana has just 2 more weeks of musical theater, and then Tuesdays will be not so crazy anymore.
Is it going to be later next week?
Yeah, it's going to last long.
But I can record late at night? No, do I tell them 5 to 11 they can
she's
be on?
going until 1:30, so we'll be home by 2:30.
Oh, that's not so bad.
And then if we get school done right away, and maybe we just do like a crock pot meal that day.
Well, I got a guy with a band that really wants to be on. Where I'm talking to him and talks with him, but he put something on his info sheet to us that he was available like January 203.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I think he meant 23rd. He either meant 23rd or 20th.
So I'm wondering if my publicist reached out to them about being on our podcast. And it's
But why should we give them dates?
Because she has our schedule.
I know, but she doesn't. Okay.
Right. So
Not
I
that
don't
far
know.
out.
I don't know
She shouldn't
where.
be scheduling me that far out.
Because he's like, I see that your schedule is open on the 203rd. Whatever that meant.
I think he meant.
I don't know what he meant. But here's the thing.
23rd,
Why would somebody say they know our schedule's open that day?
I don't know. Maybe they meant his
I don't
schedule.
know my schedule.
Maybe he meant I'm open on January 23rd.
I don't know. But they also emailed me on Messenger and requested to be on the podcast as well.
On the 203rd?
No, it just said I'd love to be on anytime.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. But anyway, we have other things going on. I have some magicians I'm trying to get a hold of. But guys, it's crazy. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing them out every single week. I hope you're entertained. We went over our whole week with you guys. I'm telling you, trick-or-treating was magical. I don't know how to explain it,
It was
but
awesome.
magical. That
Part
street,
of me
that
is
street
hoping
was
we don't have
crazy.
a show next year on Halloween,
That street was crazy.
but I'll take it if we do.
That street was like perfect.
It was awesome.
It was out of a movie.
It was great.
Yeah. And our party was awesome.
It was so much fun. I really enjoyed being Wonder Woman.
I didn't mind getting pied in the face. If that entertains people and they want me to be a clown, I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you for coming to my party. Pie me in the face.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Dude, and people ate the chili this year. I always make so much chili, and every year I'm like, maybe I should make less. No, I better make the same amount. They actually ate it. Usually we're eating chili for like a week, and then we're throwing some away. This year we finished it with my dad the day after the party. So there wasn't much left, which is fine.
That's great.
It was
great.
surprised. I was surprised.
But when they got here, I told them, I said, hey, we're going to go to the front yard at 6:30. I need you to eat before then because you're going to be busy after that. So eat now. Eat.
And people did. They did. And by the time it was time to start everything, everybody had moved from inside to outside. And I was like, I think everybody's done eating, so let's go. So,
it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Well, guys, we'll have something for you next week. One way or the other. Whether it's us, whether it's a guest, whatever.
We'll be
know
here
we're going to be here
in
every single Wednesday, 3 p.m. We love you guys. Thanks so much. The only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
Check us out online at wesiseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Iseli for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.